Happy Valentine's Day!
Oh my God, I can't believe it's Valentine's Day and you look like a whore.
I do. You just want to know? See, I got my special dress on today.
Oh, it's a strapless something, huh?
Yes. I actually I just tuck it right under the folds of the moobs, and it doesn't go anywhere.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, hello, welcome to Chubs Gone Wild. It is our Valentine's Day special. I guess we call it special just because we're special. Tom, you're special. And I don't mean that in like a mean way. Like some people say to me.
I can't believe you would say that and even bring up that ugliness on such a beautiful holiday.
Oh, yes, it is. It's a beautiful holiday in the neighborhood. And it's Chubs Gone Wild, episode 431, recorded on February 14th, 2022. We made it this far. Yeah. Anyway, it's currently 71 degrees, which is a little too hot for me, outside the Chubs Gone Wild studios, where it is clear skies. Happy Valentine's.
No, it's not. It's 60 degrees outside the remote studio, so it's nowhere.
It's supposed to be 71 today. I always go by the highest degree of the day that we're in.
No, it's supposed to be 64 degrees.
You are so out of touch with the apps that I use.
Well, I doubt it.
All right, well, let me check because it is a weather thing, and sometimes they do change it to, when they fuck it up. Okay, it now says that it's supposed to be 68 today. Yeah. I didn't say it when I looked at it earlier. Anyway, all right, moving on, because, thank you for pointing out my failure. It is 259 days till Halloween, 314 days till Christmas, and 31 days until St. Patrick's Day. Are you going to get your drunk on? You going to get your crunk on?
We already got the stuff, yeah.
So now are you gonna do? Didn't you guys do like Irish car bombs one year or something?
Every year.
Oh, so you do that every year. It's tradition now. Okay.
Yeah. Well, last year he wasn't going to do it. I'm not going to do it. And then he went off to the store to get something, and it's like an hour has passed by, and I'm like, "Is everything okay?" And he's like, "I'm trying to find." What is it? The Guinness. I'm trying to find Guinness. Can't find it anywhere. It's sold out. And I'm like, I thought we weren't doing that. Shut up. Okay.
Well, yeah, you don't go to try to find Guinness on the day unless you go to somebody's house or something. And then what do you add to it? Is it Bailey's or something?
You do a glass of a Guinness, which is way too much. You should only do a half. Then it's a shot of whiskey and a shot of Bailey's. Or a lot of people just combine the Bailey's and the whiskey into one shot. Right. So it's not too much.
And then you drop the shot in the glass, right?
Oh, it's disgusting. No, Sean does that, but I won't. Because what happens is the Bailey's immediately curdles in the Guinness,
right?
So you end up with like sweet cottage cheese that you're drinking.
Okay, so I am so over alcohol that like even hearing this is like seriously giving me like a physical like feeling.
Oh, it's a yeah. I don't dump the Bailey's in. I drink that afterwards and let it curdle in my stomach.
Oh my goodness. Oh.
Well, already bored with the show, girl?
No, girl. I just no.
Wait, I said show girl.
I went to the bar the other night with my buds, right?
Yeah.
To happy hour. And
did you win the prize?
No, and you know what? I even gave my card, whatever thing it was, to our friend Charlie, because he really, really, really wants to go see whatever that current show is coming up, the musical one. Do you know which one it is?
Wicked?
No, he said it wasn't that one. It was one of the other ones. Anyway, doesn't matter. He really wanted to see it, so I gave him my ticket so that he could have an extra chance to win, but he didn't win. So, but no, I had 2 tall 7 and 7s, and usually, you know, that doesn't bother me sipping it over and the course of the evening, whatever. But when I left, I had that feeling like, oh man, these are the old days. I hope I don't vomit. I need some greasy food. So yeah, it was reminded me why I don't drink anymore. Anyway, moving on. Patreon offers folks a way to support creators and receive rewards not open to the general public, like special podcasts, videos, books, and more. We want to thank our current patrons: Clint, Nephi, Nick, DJ Sausage from the Uniforms, Eric, Sean, Brother Sinatus, Phoenix Dave, and of course, you say it this time,
Moose P.
Yes, Queen. Anyway, please consider becoming a patron of the show over at patreon.com/MattBurlingame. All right, well, let's see what happened this day in history. Think it'll be anything fun?
Probably some gangsters killing a bunch of people.
Oh, well, yeah, kind of. St. Valentine was beheaded, actually.
Yeah.
So the whole way, the reason was it was actually 270 AD, a holy priest in Rome, Valentine, in the days of Emperor Claudius II, who I believe was a relative, but anyway,
Who isn't?
I know, right? I'm finding that out. Is said to have been executed under the rule of Claudius the Cruel. Rome was involved in many unpopular and bloody campaigns, and so he had enough of it. And let's see. So Valentine, realizing the injustice of the decree of banning marriages and engagements in Rome, defiled Claudius and continued to perform marriages for young lovers in secret. And so they said, "Ha! Enough of that!" And then we give chocolates years later. Anyway, also, in 1990, the pale blue dot photo of Earth was taken. In 1989, the Iran's Ayatollah Khomeini calls on Muslims to kill Salman Rushdie, author of the Satanic Verses. 1920.
You know who he was married to, don't you?
I should know this, but
Padma from Top Chef.
what? Okay, I thought it was somebody else completely. Nope, I had no idea. Wow. Wow.
That shows you she's not going to settle for any dumb jock,
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, cool. Anyway, 2018, gunman kills 17, injures 17 at Parkland, Florida High School. 1779, Captain Cook killed in Hawaii. Okay. 1988, Olympic speed skater Dan Jensen falls after his sister dies. 1884, Theodore Roosevelt's wife and mother died. Oh.
Wait. 1884?
Yeah. Theodore
Roosevelt. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. I was confused there.
Let's see. 1886, the first trainload of oranges leaves Los Angeles, destined to become one of our state's major exports. 1929, the St. Valentine's Day Massacre. 4 men dressed as police officers entered gangster Bugs Moran's headquarters in Chicago. And 1989.
That's what I said at the very beginning, and you just poo-pooed it. That was it.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the other thing. Okay, so
That was
anyway,
the Valentine's Day
no,
Massacre.
you're right. It was, they forced them against the wall and shot them to death, and it was just horrible. 1989, Sandinistas agreed free elections. 1779, Patriots defeat Loyalists at Kettle Creek. And finally, in 1943, children, the Battle of Caster Pass happened. in North Africa. Well, now you are educated. Go forth and spread this news. And in the meantime, we're going to see if we celebrated any holidays accidentally today, like clean out your computer day. Did you do that?
A little bit, yeah.
Oh, awesome. Frederick Douglass Day. Also, International Book Giving Day. Did you give a book?
I don't read.
Oh, okay. It is also International Epilepsy Day, Quirky Alone, League of Women Voters, Library Lovers, National Call-In Single Day. Alrighty. Cream-Filled Chocolates Day. Nope, didn't do that one. Ferris Wheels, Valentine's Day, obvious. Read to your child. Nope, not going to do that one. Race Relations Day.
I don't read.
To race relations Day?
No, to children.
Oh, well, good. Anyway, Pet Theft Awareness Day. Also, oatmeal. It is your day after all, girl. It's National Poop Day.
I've done it.
Yay! Also, you organ donator, have a heart, and National Football Hangover Day. Yawn. Today's affirmation. Are you ready? Take a deep breath. Be in the moment. I can work miracles in my life and begin to do so now. That is beautiful.
So how'd you like the Super Bowl yesterday?
The what now? Oh, I did not watch it or the halftime or the commercials. I will watch the halftime at some point on YouTube. And yeah, other than that, completely ignored it.
My favorite commercial was Seth Rogen and Paul Rudd.
Oh, I do love some Paul Rudd. Yeah. All right, I will look for that one especially. All right, today's birthdays. We want to send happy birthday out to Anthony, Patrick, and Lucy, and some upcoming birthdays. We have Stephen, Robert, Cindy, Brandon, John, Michael, Tommy, Larry, Mila, and Justin. Happy birthday, everyone. Makes me so happy. All right, next up, what we got? Nothing in our feed bag. So how about some chub hugs? Who you want to pull to your hairy chest and put in their head in between your moves and just give them a big old hug?
Well, a friend of mine is probably going to be putting his pup to rest today.
Oh, God.
So sending hugs out to Jason.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then to the family of Ivan Reitman.
Yes.
My first director. He'll always be my first.
Oh.
And thanks to him, I actually got into the video and the preview and became a bit part instead of just being background. So,
because there are people out there who'd be like, whenever I watch that movie, I love that one part where the bigger guy goes, huh? And he's all happy and everything. And so it just cracks me up every time.
Well, and of course, it's Legal Eagles is what we're referring to. But if you go back and look at what he did he was responsible for Animal House and Stripes and Ghostbusters.
Yes.
And oh God, I miss Meatballs.
Yes.
Lots of movies. And there's more than that. But I mean, basically what most people our age have in our movie collection comedy area, a lot of those movies he was responsible for in one form or another, either directing or producing or writing.
Yeah.
So
right. Absolutely. So I want to give some chub hugs out to everybody who may be feeling a little bit down on Valentine's Day. You have no reason to. You love yourself. And that's all that matters. So, and moving into celebrity deaths, as you brought up Ivan Reitman, and did you know that Meatballs, actually, from 1979, was his directorial debut?
Yeah.
He had produced before that, and of course that featured Bill Murray in his first starring role. So that was something. Other deaths that have happened this last week here, we have Ian McDonald, who was a founding member of the rock bands King Crimson and Foreigner. He died in his home at age 75. Betty Davis, apparently it's a different Betty Davis though. This one, she was 65, and her music was featured in television shows such as Orange is the New Black, Girl Boss, Mix-ish, and High Fidelity. Douglas Trumbull, the visual effects innovator, known for his work on films including 2001, Space Odyssey, Close Encounters, and Blade Runner. He was 79.
My favorite of his, well, I did love Close Encounters, but my favorite of which was really his project, was a movie called Silent Running with Bruce Dern, about how the Earth had basically gotten rid of all their trees and plants and everything and put them into satellites, because I guess, I don't know if the Earth couldn't support they didn't need the oxygen anymore, so they just got rid of the plants because they're probably taking up too much water, most likely. And then they sent them out into space, and then they decided, oh, we're never going to use those, so just blow up the pods with all the trees and stuff in it. And Bruce Dern tries to save what he can. Oh, it was a really, really good movie. He had these little robots, Huey, Dewey, and Louie, that would help him out. And very, very, one of my favorite sci-fi movies. Early 71, I think, was when it came out, right after 2001. So,
Okay, cool.
I didn't know about that, though. How old was he?
He was 79.
Okay.
Yeah. Monica Vitti, Italian actress known for starring in Michelangelo Antonioni's La Avventura. She was 90. And finally, Moses J. Mosley, an actor known for playing one of Mikion's, I don't know how to say that, library companion or zombie companions on the popular AM series The Walking Dead. And he was 31. So, all right, current topics. Students decided to walk out in a protest after being forced to attend anti-LGBTQ groups Christian Revival. Students walk out chanting "My faith, my choice," and separate the church and state as they walked out of their homeroom. Pretty damn cool. House passed bill seeking to further protect LGBTQ rights around the world. The legislation would deny visas to anti-LGBTQ human rights abusers. And that's pretty cool. HIV is now diagnosed more often in heterosexual people than with gay and bisexual men. In England, 49% of new HIV cases were diagnosed in heterosexuals in 2020, while 45% were diagnosed in gay and bisexual men. And finally, Dolly Parton's Dollywood will pay for college for all 11,000 of its employees. Just pretty fucking awesome. Dolly is awesome. And now, Tom wants to talk to you about.
Well, let me see. Of course, this week's been awful because the Olympics are on, and so you can't watch shit on the networks because nobody will program against them. So let's see. Now you've been watching How I Met Your Father, right?
Yes.
It's so formulaic and so ridiculous. It's almost terrible. But the scene where the guy's talking about how he was on the subway, and some guy comes up and goes, "Open your mouth," and he opens his mouth, and the guy puts his fingers in the guy's mouth.
Yeah.
I laughed so hard. I mean, it was. I don't know why I enjoyed it so much, but that made me laugh. Otherwise, the show, it's kind of like it's like eating a Hershey bar. I mean, it's satisfying, but there's nothing to it.
Right.
It's just what it is.
I like looking at the pretty guys, and other than that, there's nothing special. And I think you had pointed out that it was kind of like they took some old Friends episodes.
Oh yeah. Well, no, it's like I don't think they may have taken Friends episodes, yes, but it's like they go to a bar, or they're at the house where the roommates are,
right?
It's like and then we got two roommates now in one place, two roommates at another place. It's just feeling very familiar.
Well, and not only, but it's kind of a watered down series. It's kind of like it's okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like a Hershey bar.
Yeah.
It's there. It's a chocolate bar, but there's no caramel, no nuts, no anything that gives it something, makes it something different. And
I have one question too for you about it. The main guy, well, not the main guy, but the Indian guy, I guess. What, I don't know. He owns a bar.
Yeah.
So why are they always going to other bars and nightclubs?
No, they're going to his place. They go to nightclubs to go dancing.
But they went to another bar.
I don't know, maybe because they're having a date there and they don't want to be with all their friends.
I don't know. It just seems like it's a waste of a set.
Okay. And what it reminded me of something else. On television, they have these commercials where they say, have you been abused by someone of the church, or a scoutmaster, or they list all these men of power, and they show pictures, and it reminds me of when Joey on Friends took the picture. It was the face of gonorrhea, I think it was.
Oh yeah.
You could have, if you've been with this man, you could have gonorrhea. Right? And I'm thinking, who lets their picture go up there to be the guy who's molesting children? Where do they get that stock footage, and how can they stop? Do not use my picture anymore. I can't go to the grocery store. Anyway, I just saw that and it was shocking. I'm almost done with the first season of Peacemaker, and I know you haven't watched it yet, but after the first couple episodes, it just gets so fun and so good, and it's shocking. At one point they break into this one plant because I won't tell you what the storyline is, but they break in the plant because something's being done there that they want to stop. And Peacemaker goes in there and shoots off this old lady's head. She's at the front desk going, "Can I help you with something?" And he blows her head off.
Oh.
I was laughing so hard. I mean, there's a reason for it. But it was just
laughing at somebody.
But it's the fact that the gore is beyond necessary, and lots of violence, but it's very funny at the same time. And they Peacemaker, he's basically, he is kind of a right kind of militia guy who was fighting for what he thought was right, and then went to jail for it. And now that he's out of jail, the powers that be use him to do things that they need done, but they don't want to get in trouble for it. So he's kind of a undercover, even though he's not undercover at all. Guy. Well, it's John Cena, right? So he walks into the room and everyone knows he's there.
Yes.
But he's got this eagle. Eagly is the eagle, and you're gonna watch this and go, I want to have an eagle. I'll take out the screen in my window so he can come in and fly in whenever he wants. And he's just so damn cute. I know it's CGI, but he is so damn cute. Anyway, okay, moving on. Single drunk female.
Yeah, a single drunk girl. Yeah.
Now, Brian has already deserted it.
I heard.
you figured that was going to happen because there was too much lesbianism, too much diversity, and as Sean put it, it's not as much fun now that she's sober.
Right, I guess.
Okay, great. So it's much more fun when she's falling down drunk and making everyone's life miserable. That's hilarious.
No,
Okay.
see, the thing that I liked was watching her try to figure out how to function without it, and how to, it's like she's having to relearn all interpersonal skills because she never had any without out. I wanted to see more of that, and I've kind of liked it, but this last one, did you see the very last one?
Not the last one. I just got done with the party at the sponsor's house where she made out with the girl in the.
Okay, so that's the one. That's the one I just saw too.
Okay.
And so I'm watching it, and I like the fact that the character's bisexual and they don't make a big deal of it. I love the big girl best friend. But something you said too, the whole ex best friend wedding thing, either fucking do something with it or move on. I don't have any interest in going and seeing her and the ex-boyfriend at home trying to plan their wedding. I don't care. And I have a feeling that what they're going to do, though, because you're talking about the drunk stuff, I have a feeling what they're going to do is that they are going to get to the end of this season, and the finale is going to be her getting drunk and going to the wedding and fucking things up. And season 2, if it comes back, will be in rehab again.
Right. So on RuPaul's Drag Race this week, they got rid of the straight guy. There was one guy that was straight on the show. And it's funny because I started thinking about it. Why is being a drag queen specifically a gay thing? I mean, and Brian made up the point that what's his name? The big drag queen in Europe.
Dame Edna.
Dame Edna is a straight man.
Not only a straight man, but is kind of homophobic as well.
Yeah, which is really weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, and the Europeans, especially the Brits and the Canadians and Australians, have been doing drag forever, and many of them not gay. So
right.
I think it just became. I think the gays kind of said, well, it doesn't bother us. Let's have more, drag queens. And so that's where drag queens came from. That's their origin story. And I was kind of sad. He had a terrible outfit, but I didn't think he really should have gone home this week. So I was a little disappointed in that. Let's see, on Gilded Age, again, oh my God, these people are just, it's just the old rich trying to keep the new rich out of New York in 1880s, and the shit that they pull to try. This week they tried to bankrupt the new guy, and he basically flipped it on them and put some of them out of business and out of power.
Yeah, took all their money, took all their power, and that last scene.
Oh yeah.
Oof.
Yeah. So, good stuff. Very fun. And did you notice that half the scenes, the wife of the new rich wife, was actually good.
Yeah, she finally. One of the things that's been getting me is that Christine Baranski and her seem like they're not believing what they're saying. They're not really embracing the full of their characters enough. And so I was really glad to see that. But also, an interesting little side note, when they went to see the American Red Cross founder, Clara Barton, speak, I looked it up because the name struck, I know, it was like 5 seconds of that, but she was a 5th cousin 4 times removed from me. So that was kind of interesting.
How do you find all these out?
So there's Nephi, our sweet friend Nephi, has hooked me up on an actual reliable ancestry site. It's called Family Search, and if anybody out there is interested in their genealogy and stuff like that, check this out, because this is like one of the seriously most reliable, most accurate, well-researched sites that are out there. And it has records that go back like centuries upon centuries. I also found out, because I watched Spencer, which I'll talk about later, but I found out that Diana is an 11th cousin. So, I mean, it's just like all this weird.
Well, don't forget the woman who did the big statue in Central Park.
Sixth cousin 5 times removed, which
See,
basically means
this-
like related by rumor.
I know, but this feels an awful lot like how people go, "Oh, I did regression, and I was Napoleon, and I was Abraham Lincoln." Oh my God, isn't that amazing?
Right? No, like I seriously, every time I say something like this, it makes me feel like one of those people that are like, "And I was Cleopatra in a past life." But seriously, the records are all there. So
Okay, all right.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'd like to see if I'm. Well, I'm pretty sure I'm a descendant of Eve. So.
Okay, if there was such a thing, but we won't go there.
Oh
But
my goodness.
seriously, if you're interested, I will try to hook you up if you want to do stuff.
Well, now I just want to see, just because it's hilarious.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if they'll actually. You can't go past 15 generations to find out if you're related, unless you like seriously sit there and click and click and click and click. But anyway, moving on.
So, Big Brother, Celebrity Big Brother. The situation I've been having is not the fact that I hate certain people on the show, but the fact is that the people I hate are the ones that Sean's rooting for. So it's
so
really weird when I go, no, they should get rid of this person, because then they'd have a stronger group over here. And he goes, but no, we want to get rid of them. And I'm like, no, how can you say that? And he goes, well, because I don't want them to win. And it was like, it was a gas grab the pearls type moment. So last night it got flipped a little bit, so it felt a little better, but it was I'm just
weird. You guys are usually on the same page. How's Todrick doing?
Well, he's the problem. He's horrible.
Oh yeah, he's probably doing hardcore gameplay, huh?
Hardcore game playing. He's lying to everybody, and because it's Todrick, everyone believes him.
Well, yeah,
there's nothing but, okay, if you're gonna leave your top off, keep the nipples under the line. Oh God.
Now everybody will be running over to the video.
Can I black out your side? I think I can. Let me do this.
Just keep going.
Okay. Anyway, still enjoying After Party. It is what I thought it was going to be, which is it's Apple TV, Tiffany Haddish. It's a detective thing where each week she's interviewing a new person. And it's funny because they go, let's find out what happened on last episode. And it's like, no, you're just going to tell me the story again anyway. So I don't need a reminder of the past 4 people, what their views on what happened that night. It's like, it's a detective show. It's typical. I wrote this show back in high school. It was called 4 to 3. And it was Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson. And all they did was, it was one set, and they kept bringing people in and interviewing them. And at the end they go, oh, it was this person, Yeah. And it was, and in my show, it was Dr. Watson had found a suicide note. So it wasn't any of the people that they had been interviewing the whole time. He knew it was a suicide, but didn't tell Sherlock Holmes because they had a game to figure out who's who. But and I've got a feeling that this is what we're going to find out at the end of this show, that it was really a suicide. And if it is, I'm suing.
Yeah, you should.
Okay. The woman in the house across the street from the girl in the window is just insane. It's so weird and funny and clever, well written, and there's no bullshit filler where we're just trying to hit the 25-minute mark so we can finish the episode. This really moves sales by 8 episodes. Really fun. We're going to finish that tonight, so looking forward to to find out what happens. On South Park this week, it's the new South Park new season, and what happens is we find out that Token
Mhm.
is actually Tolkien,
Oh.
that he's named after the writer of Lord of the Rings. And Stan is like, but I thought you were, and he goes, what? You thought I was what? Well, because you're the only black kid at school, you're the token black kid.
Right.
And his name is Tolkien Black. So, which is what they did that deliberately in South Park, because you always have to have your token black in shows.
Yeah.
And so, but then they shame us for thinking this for 25 seasons, but they told us that's what it was. You know, now they're going, oh, you thought that. Oh, terrible, terrible. and it was, I kind of appreciated the fact that they shamed us. Oh, so shamed us. Oh my God. Anyway, new show called Suspicion, sorry, on Apple TV, where the show starts out where there's this kid, we're watching CCTV, there's this kid walking down a hallway in a hotel, and these people in masks come up and they kidnap him. And they put it online that that this kid's been kidnapped. Well, they show the kidnapping. And then at the end of the first episode, they arrest these three people for being the people who kidnapped him. And it's like, it's interesting. I don't know where it's going, you know, or where we can go with it, but I'm looking forward. I mean, it's an interesting concept. I'm kind of having fun with it. Pretty much all British cast except for the Indian fellow in the show is the guy from Big Bang. And I thought it, when I saw the preview at first, I thought it was the guy from Midnight Mass, but it ended up being Big Bang. And he does not look like that goofy little kid from Big Bang anymore, if you know what I mean. You know, yeah, you'd be happy. You know, and the guy in How I Met Your Father, how'd you like that hot scene where he's doing the sex thing?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I loved every single minute of that.
Yeah. Okay. There's a new show called Get Curious with Jonathan Van Ness. Have you seen it?
Oh, it's funny. Our friend Charlie kept saying there's this show on Netflix and it's a really bad drag queen. His clothes are really horrible. He's a bad drag queen, and I finally figured out what he was talking about, and set him straight. So maybe he'll watch some Queer Eye Now. But he really loved the show.
Well, the first episode was him trying to figure out, are bugs gross? Are they beautiful? Okay. And so he goes and talks to people who deal with bugs, you know, and so we never really found, some are gross and some are beautiful is what we found out. And the second one was much more interesting, and that was why is hair a thing? You know, why are people so concerned with their hair? And if you go back looking through history, like the 17 and 1800s, where hair, you know, the wigs came in, you know, the whole cut off her head, whatever her name was, all those people. Yes, Marie Antoinette, all that time period where all the women were wearing these huge wigs. Taller the wig, the more famous and rich you were, because that meant you could add more hair to it. And you know, if you had no wig, you were basically just a wench. So at one point they go, yeah, this people have been worrying about their hair since the 8,000 years ago, which is wrong, because the earth is only 2,000 years. Check the Bible. Anyway,
5,000 anyway.
And so yeah, so this was fun. One of our listeners, Timothy, let me know that he interviewed Paul Reiser, and one of the questions that I've been asking for probably a good year now is, will there be a second season to Mad About You's reboot? And there will not, he asked.
That is
and
so
let me know
sad.
that's not going to happen. And it was never supposed to have a second season. Of course, I don't think they ever knew how good that was going to be.
No, and it was better than almost any of the other reboots that came out.
Oh yes, yeah. It was just, the problem was was they put it on that stupid ass cable company
Yeah,
station
if they had
that
had
nobody
it on like,
has.
NBC or something.
Well, it's funny because my friend Mike actually has that cable service in the Santa Cruz area.
Oh,
So it's like it's not even as big as Xfinity. It's like this teeny little bullshit thing. Anyway, but at least the question has been answered. So that thank you.
yeah.
Then there's a new show called Fairview. It's on right after South Park, and this is about a small town, basically a small town that Marjorie Taylor Greene probably considers the most wonderful town in all the world. She's going to watch the show and go, "Oh, good! So at least they're making comedies that represent me." And so everyone in town's insane. They're going to have a St. Patrick's Day party, and the mayor's like going, okay, COVID's running wild. We're not going to have a party. Everyone needs to wear a mask. Everyone needs to get vaccinated. And they're like, no, we got to have this party. And then the Taylor Greene character, she finds out her son got vaccinated because his best friend is, has problems. And so to make sure he doesn't give him anything, he got vaccinated. And she's like, oh no, that's not going to happen. You are not going to be, and it's just like, it's so fucked up. And you kind of watch it like, I'm sure, when All in the Family came out, where here's Archie Bunker and he's a hero to so many people, but in reality, they were making fun of him the whole time.
Yep.
That, Fred Sanford, they were making fun of, the old ways. But when they did it, they made these guys into heroes for everybody that agrees with them.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's very weird. So,
well, I've always asked if conservative people watch, like, I don't know, or bad dystopian films and think that they're fairy tales or something. I don't get it.
So anyway, it's interesting, and I'll probably continue to watch it a little bit to see if it still is whacked out. Which I mean, after this pilot, I don't know how they can tame it. It's just insane, but it needs to be watched so people know what's going on. I mean, and I guarantee you that there are people that we know that are going to go, wow, that's finally, they got a good cartoon.
Yeah.
None of that Family Guy or Simpsons bullshit.
No.
We got somebody that represents us in animation.
Yeah, like Tim Allen represented them in whatever that show was.
Right. So, and that's about it. It's been pretty quiet otherwise, because we've had the Olympics and the Super Bowl,
right.
And then tonight comes back hockey. I got 2 weeks off from hockey, but I got Super Bowl during the whole time. I mean, Olympics the whole time. Well, and Super Bowl. It's been a nightmare. How about you?
Wow. I have been watching all sorts of stuff, more than I usually do. But with TV, I did finish Boba Fett. Have you not yet?
Oh yeah, that was a good episode.
And I guess it's the season finale.
It's probably the series finale, but yeah.
Well, yeah, probably that too, actually. And we did get our answer to the question of what he chose. So that was interesting. I don't want to give away any spoilers just in case nobody's seen it yet, although I think it's been out for like a week. So,
but no, it's been out since Wednesday.
Oh, okay. So, but it was so good. It was so good.
I heard people complaining about it online.
Oh, of course, you're always going to have some purist asshole out there.
Well, no, they were going, oh, why did they let Robert Rodriguez direct it? They should have had Bryce Dallas Howard direct it. It wouldn't have seemed so childish and ridiculous. But come on, the guy shows up in town like high noon.
Yeah.
Of course it's going to be a Western kind of feel to it.
Yeah.
I just don't understand. People really bother me who are stupid. Okay, that I mean, just
Yeah.
it just wasn't. I mean, I do it all the time, but at least I can appreciate the fact that it's not what I. It just wasn't what I wanted it to be, but I don't have to say it's bad because it wasn't what I wanted it to be.
I mean, there's a few points there that I'm like, okay, that's a little, plain or predictable or whatever, but I don't care. It was good. It made me feel good. I really like the characters. Good.
Well, you know what? My favorite line was, "Oh, it's Grugo or Grogu, Gugro,
Yeah.
Oh, that's a terrible name. I mean, I'm really sorry, but that's really an awful.
Yeah.
I love her.
It's so funny because it did not dawn on me, and I was too lazy to look it up who she was. It didn't even dawn on me that it was Sedaris.
Oh, you're kidding.
That's Amy Sedaris.
No, you're kidding. You didn't know who that was.
Yes, that's the thing is I just had this disconnect.
Through two seasons of The Mandalorian.
Yes, I swear I'm like, oh God, I know her. And I just never bothered to look it up.
Well, remember when I sent you the dating game thing where
Yeah.
she was the contestant on the dating game and all the people on the other side were sand people? And she'd be like, God damn it, they're all sand people. It would have been hilarious.
Yeah, but it just did not even dawn on me until like about a week ago, and then I'm like, oh man, how could I miss that?
I'm just reading your stuff. Sorry about all of that.
I know. So next up was Call Me Kat, which was a fabulous episode. And Kat finds out that her mother's boyfriend is cheating and tries to get her to leave. And it was just your regular fun show. A little bit better than the father ones, but anyway. And then last night, I watched all 8 episodes of Reacher.
Reach around?
Yes. So Reacher, and for anyone that doesn't know, because it's freaking everywhere, it's the new Jack Reacher based on the novel, and it's on Amazon Prime. It's good. It's got a lot of pretty men in it, and of course the guy that plays Reacher is a very pretty man as well. Yeah, apparently you found a director who really knows how to focus on pretty men. So it was nice, but it is very action, shoot 'em up, gross. It's kind of gory and gross, a little over the top, maybe not as bad as Peacemaker, but close, probably.
I doubt it.
Well, you're probably right, but
I had an eagle eat out eyeballs.
Yeah, it was enough that I was kind of like looking away at points when people are getting squished by stamp.
And so for people who are wondering that it sounds familiar, Tom Cruise did 2 movies based on this guy. So
okay, well, this one is actually fun to watch.
So were they?
If you say so. I did not watch them.
Oh, so that's why.
No, I'm saying I didn't watch them, so I can't tell you what I thought.
I heard that tone. Go ahead.
Tom Cruise. So anyway, but it's good. It's worth it if you like the action shit, the shoot 'em up, and it's good. It's really good. And if you were a fan of The Good Witch in final season, the mayor of the opposite town, he's in it. So anyway, movies. I watched The King's Speech finally with Colin Firth. It was excellent. I mean, it's been out for a while. It's basically about, the king before Elizabeth, and he had a speech impediment, and the guy that worked with him. And it was a really, really good film. And then I finally got to see
it won Best Picture and Best Actor.
It absolutely deserved it.
Well, you don't know it did because you don't know what it was up against, but yes, it is a good movie.
Yeah. Downton Abbey, I finally watched the movie, and it was fun. It was very fun. It was light, and I was happy with everything.
Well, it's very satisfying for fans of the show.
Yeah, really. And I loved how it went with Tom. Tom's character, who is
Yeah.
one of my favorites. So, and then so I decided to bond with Tom, and knowing that he is going to have to watch all the Oscar picks for his other show, I decided that I was going to do the same. This is the first year I will watch all the Oscar nominated films. Now, keep in mind that just means for Best Picture and maybe a couple of the others, because I'm not watching 100 and some freaking films. Anyway, but I started out with The Power of the Dog, which is the one with Benedict Cumberbatch, and he plays a cowboy. This is basically, it was set up, and there's a gay kid, and it was basically set up to be Call Me by Your Brokeback Mountain, and it failed, and the editing failed, and the disjointedness of the film failed, and the ending was like, what the fuck?
You mean the
Okay,
picture
I
with
sat
the
through
most nominations?
I sat through 2 fucking hours of waiting for them to, like, I don't know, get it on or be a mentor or something like that. And that is your fucking ending out of nowhere? Fuck you.
So
So,
just to clarify that, 12 nominations, Best Picture, Director, Actor,
mhm,
Supporting Actress, 2 for Supporting Actor, Director,
mhm,
Writer,
yeah,
Cinematography,
mhm,
Costume Design, and
mhm.
Editing, and I think even soundtrack, or, score. So
Sound wasn't
for all
bad.
of us just joined us, got a lot of nominations.
You know, it must have been a slow year, and they must have needed some filler, and like Benedict Cumber poop, because I do like him. It was well acted, and it was nice to see him, naked and muddy and everything. It was not technically a bad film except for the editing, in my point, but the story was shit. Just saying.
Okay.
All right. Nightmare Alley. Another 2 freaking hours. Over 2 freaking hours.
2.5.
Ugh, God.
I
That
was there
was,
last week. I know.
if it had if it had not been for Bradley Cooper being pretty, I mean, it just, who cares? Who
Well,
cares?
I don't like grifter movies, like I said last week. Because at the beginning, didn't it feel like he's going to try to turn this carnival around,
Yeah.
where it's going to be a big money maker and everyone's going to want to come there, and then he's going to find out that there's really something, because it's Nightmare Alley. So
Uh-huh.
that there's got to be something underlying all this
Yeah,
that he's going to discover.
and I would have liked that.
Oh
I
yeah.
actually didn't even mind the grifter stuff in the beginning, but once he struck out on his own, I'm like, I
Yeah.
lost complete interest.
Oh yeah, it was so boring.
Yeah. Belfast. So Belfast is about 1965 or 9. Um, and it is when the Catholics and the Protestants really started starting their civil war, and it's all about this family that lives on the street and how they were affected by it. It's really well done. It was hard to watch, especially the violence at times. It's mostly from the youngest kids' perspective of the family, and it's not. It's got drama, but it's got more. It felt almost more like, I don't know, a growing up movie time shot. So it was okay. Don't Look Up. Poop. I'm not saying that it wasn't well acted. I'm not saying that there weren't great people in it. Poop. I hit that fast forward button so many freaking times. Anyway, Tick Tick Boom. I ended up watching it thinking it was an Oscar contender because I'd heard you guys say that it was be in consideration. It is not, but Andrew Garfield, the lead actor, is up for Best Actor, and I really liked it. And it's funny because I didn't even care for most of the lyrics of the songs, but I really liked the film. They did a good job, and he was great, and I can see why he got a nomination. And then 2 more. Let's see, Coda. Coda is about a young girl. She's 17. She's hearing, and she has her parents and brother who are not hearing, and they are like third or fourth generation fishermen. So they're out on the water, you know, doing the fish and everything. And it's basically just kind of a snapshot how she has a really great voice and she wants to be a singer and go to a music college. And yet she feels like she has to stay there because without her being a hearing person, the fishing industry people that are trying to govern them won't like let just deaf people be on the boat alone
We'll
because
take
it's
advantage of
dangerous.
the deaf people.
Yes, exactly. It is a really good film. I actually watched the whole thing. It was really compelling. The brother is super hot. And yeah, I don't know if it's going to be boring enough to win because it was actually a good film. So I don't know, but yeah, it's worth a watch. And then finally, I watched Spencer, which is about my 11th cousin Diana, and it takes place over like a 3-day Christmas period toward the end of the marriage, and it's very artsy. She basically sees Anne Boleyn and equates herself to Anne Boleyn, and you don't know watching this whether you like her or not, but what you really see is somebody that seems to be suffering with severe mental illness. So I don't know. It was well done. Kristen Stewart did a great job, totally making me like her after those horrible Twilight films. But I can't say that I thought the movie was wonderful. Anyway, so enjoy those when you see them. We want to remind you to be loud, be proud, be too much, and to be you and those negatives that they've always forced upon you. Turn those into positives by using the code FMWildChub to get 20% off anything while ordering over at fatmarkerclothing.com. Now it's time for advice, and I got a big long one. Just
No, you don't.
for
That's okay.
Tom. Okay, I was trying to pretend. All right. I am a single dad.
Oh, let me tell you this. I heard a newscaster go, and opening this coming week will be Serrano with Peter Dinklage, where he plays
Christian
it was Cyrano.
Oh,
And he called it Serrano, and I'm like, oh my God, you're a newscaster. You don't even know what, oh my God. But I laughed. So, and I didn't want to forget that. So go ahead.
Okay. I am a single dad. My late wife left me with our only child. My 4-year-old daughter is terrified of dogs, particularly large ones. Favorite relatives have just gotten a puppy that will be very large, and she has begun to protest visiting. It doesn't help that my family members refuse to create the animal. They are saying that the puppy needs to learn to greet people. They do supervise very closely, but that doesn't help my daughter become less afraid. When I said that we wouldn't be visiting anymore, she said they understood and would see us at our house and restaurant. Complicating the matter is the relatives are my daughter's designated guardians and my go-to babysitters. It worries me that they didn't think ahead about her fear before getting the pet, and that they refuse to put my daughter above it. They will probably be reasonable about the guardianship and babysitting as no longer working for me, but where does that leave my family? Am I being unreasonable, or are they being unkind? My little girl's fear isn't a matter of just not being used to animals. She is utterly terrified seeing the puppy at the door on a leash. Well, first off, I don't like you, sir. and I don't like your hatred of animals and talking about them like they are possessions that should be thrown away just because your daughter has a phobia. But on the other hand, I do feel sorry for her because I know there are things that, I am afraid of that, but.
Yeah, but what the father is being ridiculous. If she's got a fear of dogs, she's got a fear of dogs, she needs to get over that. There's too many, she's going to end up being an adult that can't walk outside and see somebody walking a dog without her panicking and having a panic attack. No, this needs to be the bud needs to be pinched right here. And this is perfect. It's a puppy, perfect for her to get used to a smaller, even if it's a bigger puppy, for a bigger dog, get used to that, and have her be around maybe smaller dogs, maybe like Chihuahuas or some, well, they're vicious, but get her used to it. I mean, can you imagine? You can't walk out your front door without seeing somebody's dog, somebody walking a dog.
Mm-hmm.
You hear a dog barking. I mean, if she hears a dog barking off in the distance, is she going to be panicked to the point of where she won't leave her house? I mean, that's the way he's painting her utter fear of dogs, and is creating this, and how rude these people are. It's like, so because you can't use them as a babysitter anymore, this is what it sounds like to me.
Yeah.
He's upset that an option for him getting a sitter or someplace to dump the child is because this is he needs to stop this.
Right.
And
so we're supposed to put our lives on hold and not, rescue an animal or whatever because you think that you might possibly at some point die and leave us with your child.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, and I know that you come from you've had some problems yourself, but the best way to try to get over your fear is by facing your fears. And like I said, I mean, if she's afraid of dogs, she might not ever be able to date anybody or go into work, leave the house because there's dogs everywhere out there. I mean, sometimes it looks like, the streets of Bombay, and what are you going to do? You can't get to your car. What if you're in your car and you're trying to get out? There's a dog in the parking lot. Oh my God, I can't. Then you drive home. I mean, that's how they're painting this girl. The father is painting the girl that way. And if that's really, if she's that bad, she needs to see a psychiatrist and she needs to wean herself in with some animals, because this is not healthy.
Well, Tom has spoken. Let's see what Jeopardy had to say. Well, rude. Your daughter's early life has been marked by profound loss. Lots of kids are scared of dogs, but it may be that your daughter's terror is somehow connected in her young mind to the disappearance of her mother. Your family members are being insensitive and obtuse by not making sure your daughter is at ease in their home. All dogs need crates. And the relatives with the new puppy have to teach it to sleep quietly in one. If they won't, they are irresponsible in every way. Fuck you. Anyway, it's remarkable they would prefer to lose a close connection with your daughter rather than make the puppy take a nap. I'm afraid you need a new set of go-to sitters.
Oh my God.
But for now, don't worry about changing guardianship. That's something you can think more deliberately. Over time, you do want to figure out how to help your daughter get over her fear of dogs. If you know people with calm, gentle ones, you and your daughter can visit, and perhaps while she looks on from a comfortable distance, she can see you with and petting the dog. That might allow her to move in closer on her own schedule. So do some therapy and get her used to dogs, otherwise she's going to have a hard time. However, the rest of it,
Crate that dog when I'm at your house. Don't come to my house.
Yes, lock your dog up, put her in prison because my daughter is special.
And it was
I'm
this.
sure there's lots of parents out there that are listening going, that's horrible. And dogs should be put in cages.
Well, who is this? Is this Fruity or is this Miss Manners?
This is Prudy. This is actually Emily, the former Prudy, who has kind of come back and been doing some stuff.
Oh, this is terrible. This is terrible. Terrible.
Anyway. Hey Chubs, how old were your parents when they got married?
My mom was 30. My dad would have been 31.
Okay.
No, my dad would have been 30. My mom would have been 29.
Okay. My mom was 19 and my father was 21. Yep. Hey Chubs, how many pairs of socks do you own?
Probably 18 to 24, somewhere around there.
Okay. I don't actually believe in owning socks. I just let them free range because I won't crate them. Anyway, yeah, probably about 25, somewhere in there. All right, time for a trivia question. Hey, Tom, it is estimated, oh no, how many roses are sold on Valentine's Day each year? That's the question.
I'd say probably on just Valentine's Day, I'd say probably 8 million.
Well, it could be. It is estimated that more than 250 million roses are produced for Valentine's Day, but it doesn't actually give a how many of those are sold number. So
right, and see, because it's. I mean, what do you count roses on I mean, are they purchased on Valentine's Day, or what about roses that are purchased on the 12th? Are those Valentine's Day roses?
All right. No, they're called wilted by then.
Wilted? You're getting bad roses, girl.
Oh, my rose has always been bad.
Oh no, your roses like
anyway,
falling apart and dry.
Lunchbox. What's in your lunchbox? Well, you didn't tell me, so luckily Moose did. He said, "This is so good. Hot enough to make me sweat." Oh, but good. Chicken, beef, shrimp in a red Thai coconut curry sauce. That sounds very interesting.
Yeah, with mushrooms, carrots, looks like bell peppers.
Yeah.
Actually, those probably aren't carrots. Those are probably red peppers.
Oh, yeah.
It looks tasty.
Does.
That's it?
That's it. That's what was in the lunchbox. So now you leave us tempted and hungry. And so just send us an email at chubsgonewild@gmail.com. Maybe send us what's in your lunchbox like Mr. Moose did. Leave us a comment at chubsgonewild.com. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/chubsgonewild. Watch videos of the show on youtube.com/c/Matthew Burlingame, or just look up Chubs Gone Wild. Please consider becoming a patron of the show over at patreon.com/Pat Burlingame. Find Tom's movie and TV reviews over at swannerandjudd.com. Find their podcast in iTunes or on iHeartRadio. Find out more about Matt's books over at justkisstheguy.com and check out my other podcast at bigasexshow.com. And give us a call at
408-69 Chubs.
Sequina. So that brings us to the end of the Valentine's thing. So did you get any Valentines?
From the in-laws.
Oh, that's nice.
Well, one set of the in-laws.
Oh, well, that's nice. Yeah, cool. Are you doing anything special, you and Shawnee?
No.
Do anything not that special?
He's working.
Oh, does he get paid double time?
Not on
holiday?
Valentine's Day.
Oh, boo.
I know.
Yeah. Well, I got one. Our dear friend, Mr. Clint, gave me a Valentine's. Oh, and Nephi sent me a little Valentine. That was very sweet. But I don't know. Did I get anything else? I don't think so. Nope.
No.
Nothing. Oh well. All right. Well, we hope you have a wonderful Valentine's Day and a wonderful week, and we will catch you next week.
Bye.
Bye.